Welcome to Celtics Post Game. I'm Bobby Manning. Taylor McLeod is to my left.
Yes,
You're
sir.
right. And who is looking right now? Everybody who believed in the Celtics team. 16-5 through just about the quarter waypoint of the season. I want to check in on this very important question here before we get to that quarter point because we're going to be out of here in Syracuse. But I think we have enough right now to say who is looking the best on the Celtics right now. You said on Celtics post-game show early this season that by the end of the year, Jayson Tatum was going to be the best player on the team. And after 26 against the Nuggets and a great win over the Heat the night before, you think he's already gotten there?
I don't know if he's the best player on the team yet. I think that Gordon Hayward, when he comes back, is probably the most complete all-star level player. And then Kemba Walker, obviously, is all-NBA, all-star level talent. In terms of impact on the game right now, what I'm seeing from Tatum is there's a certain gravity to his game where all the attention is going to him now, and he's really responding well. I've really liked what he's done in terms of taking on a playmaking role. We're seeing a lot more passing from Tatum. I think he's averaging 5 assists over this last stretch of pretty good games. So I think Jayson Tatum right now to me is the best player on the team, and I said in the beginning of the year that Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum would be the best player on the team by the end of the season. And right now, I still believe that, and I think Jayson Tatum will be the best player on this team by the end of the year.
It's a great problem to have, too. There's probably 4 good choices. You could include Gordon Hayward in this. He was
Absolutely.
on a stretch. They could have put him in the All-Star game through the first 10 or so games that he was involved in through November 9th. Hard to factor him into this now just because of how much time he's missed. I'm leaning 2 ways with this one. Kemba had his little lull to start the year, so I'm going to discount him, even though he flipped that Miami game upside down with his
Absolutely.
playmaking, with his shooting late in these games, but he's part of the first quarter struggles that they've had. So I'm going with Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has gotten himself up to 20 points a game.
Yes.
He's hitting a steady amount of his threes, and he goes out there, it's quiet, but he uses transition, he's using better dribble play to not only score steadily on a night-to-night basis, he is earning the money that they gave him. A lot of people were concerned about the extensions they gave him to start this year, and he's looking like a player who makes that kind of money.
Yeah, 100%. You're not going to get me to say anything bad about Jaylen Brown. So if you want to say Jaylen Brown's the best player on the team, will be the best player on the team, I'm all for it. Like, that would be the greatest thing in the world for me. Jaylen Brown, he's improved something in his game every year, and it's not necessarily like how players add something to their game every year. I think what he's gotten good at is letting things come to him, letting things slow down. And this year we're seeing a complete player as opposed to a guy who would have some, really, really nice, streaks, but then some inconsistencies at the same time. We're seeing a guy right now who seems to have his head in the clearest spot in terms of the basketball player that we've seen throughout his career. And he's just playing with a certain strength and a certain grace at the same time that when teams are doubling Kemba and doubling Tatum, like he said, and obviously Hayward will get attention, Jaylen Brown will make you pay.
Miami threw a lot of blitzes at Tatum, so that helps Brown in those situations. I just love how he's even gotten his free throw percentage up.
Absolutely.
My thing about Tatum still, and I am the biggest Tatum fan around, I think it's crazy how he's really mastered the three-point shot and defense to be the consistent factors in his game, and everything else has been a little shaky. The finishing, the shooting in between, things we thought he was great at coming into the league. He's a little inconsistent. 2 of 12 against Miami. He'll have the 0-9 stretch that he had last week and then come out and be fantastic like he was against the Knicks and against the Nuggets last night. He was phenomenal in that game, but every other night it feels like he's a little off. Brown, even last year, struggled early, but then once he went to the bench, it felt like he was scoring 10 to 20 points every game.
You're right, and I think Brown is more assertive, so I feel like when he's playing well, you see it easier, and he has a different impact on the game. The thing about Jayson Tatum is he's putting up these numbers right now, while also there are some inconsistencies because it's not like he's hitting every layup in these games where he's scoring the most points. But he's getting to his spots so much more easily than I've ever seen him. And I'm really confident that those layups are going to start falling. He's shooting a ton of threes right now. I mean, to end the first quarter last night, he shoots a pull-up three, and he shoots a step-back three. To end the third quarter, he ends the third quarter with, a sidestep three. So I think we're seeing a player who is really coming into his own. It's his 3rd season in the league. He's 21 years old. Sky's the limit for this kid. He is really looking to me like he's going to capitalize on a lot of potential.
It's great to have 4, maybe 5 choices for who could be the best on the Celtics so far. If anyone want to say Marcus Smart,
True.
it's a possibility the way he's taken a leap offensively. His alley-oops have been amazing. He's making some great passes in the pick and roll that just make you go, ooh, this is why this guy went top 10 in his draft. So leave your answer to this below. Who is the best player on the Celtics to this point in the season? Who will be by the end of the year?
And I don't want to get it twisted. Gordon Hayward and Kemba Walker are all-stars. This is more of a who is the best talent on the team
right
that
now
we can see flourishing. You know, we're predicting the future a little bit.
All right. Philly is coming up big on Thursday, but we don't want to overlook Cleveland and Indiana. Not only as opponents, but as post-game shows. Check those out. We're on every night at 2.5 hours after the game on Spotify, on iTunes, on all those platforms the next morning. Celtics Post Game show on CLNS Media. Bobby Manning, Kellen McLeod. We'll be there for you.
Yes, sir.